Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome if you're returning and welcome again as well if you are new. Today we're doing a renovation of a house that is already existing in Oasis Springs. It's an EA build, so I just tried to make it. I'm honestly didn't really like the style that Oasis Spring kind of has. Like I know they have a very what's the word for it? Like a Spanish, Mexican, Mediterranean kind of a vibe going on in Oasis Springs. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I might move into more of that sort of style maybe later on once I, play through a few of the houses or like renovate some of the houses. But at the moment, I'm really liking going for the really modern style of build, especially for Oasis Springs. I feel like it ties in well with the surroundings. Like I feel like having grass in a desert area makes it look very lush, but it also makes you look rich because, if you're going to be having green grass, you're going to have access to water, which obviously is a bit more scarce in the desert. And I would imagine it would be a lot more expensive in the desert. So having grass in that sort of area, I feel like you need a bit more of like an upper class style of house. So that's why I chose to do this house like the way that it is. Also, if you saw my Caliente's house rebuild or renovation, should I say, I also made that one a modern style home as well instead of the traditional like Spanish kind of home. I don't even know what to even call that kind of style. But here I'm just trying to make so the balcony kind of look good and have the roof so that it's not so out in the open, I guess you could say. Like it doesn't look like it's very supported the way that it is right now. So I tried to make some try to put some columns up there to try and see if that would make it look any better. And I just fiddle around with it a little bit just to try to see what kind of style I want it to look like and maybe try to, manipulate it in such a way that works best for me. And this little trick that I'm doing right now that you can see is when you do the roof trimming, sometimes, like all the time, it will trim around the whole room. Even if you press like Shift or Alt, I know those are two common buttons that we use to like move to color things or recolor, or I don't even know the word for that either, but you know what I mean. It will still go around the whole room and around what it considers is the entire room. And so what I did was I put up some walls just to make a custom kind of room so that the roof trimming was only on certain pieces of the roof. So it wasn't on around the whole trimming of all of the walls on the top floor because that would just look weird. So if you look at it, it doesn't look like the roof just kind of cuts off and it has this weird trimming around the bottom of it. So it has like a nice styled like black trimming. So what I was just doing before as well was moving out. I just had to move objects on and I moved out all of the furniture just so I can kind of figure out the floor plan and the layout of the house that I want for it, and then I'll move all the furniture back in. I tried to, when I do renovations in general, I try to keep all the existing furniture and then maybe upgrade it with different colors or maybe upgrade it with like a different object in general, just so I can keep the original style of the house. I try to like make it an actual renovation, not just a completely new house. Even though this is a new modern style home compared to what it was before, I feel like maybe what it was before looked more like a mid-century modern one, and what it looks like now is just a modern, like ultra modern, if that's even a thing. I think it is. Maybe it's not that ultra modern, but it is more modern than what it was before. So that's just basically what I tried to do, is just keep everything similar to what it was before, but just change it a little bit. So I also added on an ensuite to the top bedroom. So I ended up making this the main bedroom, so like the master bedroom. That way I feel like it kind of adds like a bit more of a nicer feel to having the one on the bottom. being the master bedroom, but obviously before it was just only like a single story home. So now I'm just sort of putting back in the furniture a little bit just to see if that's kind of what I want to go for. One of the things that kind of annoys me a little bit about putting all the furniture out there is sometimes I might forget like 1 or 2 pieces of furniture or like a decor item or something, like even like toilet paper. Sometimes I've left out in the middle of the area. So also if you do download this build, it is on the gallery. It's just under Kassieki Plays, which is actually, I don't think it's Kassieki Plays on there. It's just Kassieki. I'm not even entirely sure, but I will leave a link down below because there is no CC in this house, so you can find it, and I can leave a link for you down below, so you can go and download it and add it to your Oasis Springs if that's where you want it to be. I did have a little bit of trouble with figuring out the floor plan for the bottom area, just because it's very open living. I ended up changing it up maybe 5 times. I just could not figure out what I wanted to do with it, and you'll probably see a little bit later on. I might even just take some of it out because I did change it maybe 10 times until I was actually fully happy with it, just because it just didn't seem to work. Every time I feel like I put in stairs, things just don't fit the way that I would want them to be, or like having the stairs is a bit more of like an inconvenience for me because the stairs, obviously you've got to have a certain amount of tiles on top of the stairs where you can't put any floors, and then I've got to make the top of the house a little bit weird, or try to make the bottom of the house, not the bottom of the house, like the first story where the stairs start. I have to move the furniture around to make it fit in, but then it makes all these weird corners and stuff like that. I don't know. I just ended up changing it a whole bunch of times, and I think by the end of it I was happy with it, but from what I can remember I really, really struggled to try and figure out what I wanted to do with just the kitchen mainly. And as you can see here, it kind of gets a little bit squishy. That's why I ended up trying to change it again. And then moving it back, and I don't know. I fiddled around with it quite a bit until I actually came up with something that I actually really liked. And you'll see in the final pictures and the screenshots at the end of this video what it actually looks like. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbering. I'm going to stop blabbering on about this house and just let you guys enjoy watching me stuff around with this house because like I say, it did give me a lot of grief with trying to figure out the kitchen and the living room and all that sort of floor plan. But you'll see what the results are in the end. So don't forget to stay tuned for the screenshots down the end of the video, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you liked what I did with this house and you want to see more. Don't forget to turn on the notifications as well so you're notified exactly when I upload so you don't miss out on anything. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks, guys.